What's going on, everyone? It's Ben from YGO from Zero, back with another treasure format video. This will likely be my last video showing off gameplay in treasure format for a while, as I feel like I've gone through all of the major strategies in the format and shown them off pretty well. But the last game that I want to show off is one that was actually requested by a commenter on one of my videos, and they basically mentioned that, we've seen all the sort of tier 1 decks in the format, or at least what I think are the tier 1 decks. Good Stuff, Mill, and Burn. And we've mainly seen like the Mill and Burn decks up against the Good Stuff deck, but we haven't actually seen a matchup between Mill and Burn. So I thought that was a good point. So we're wrapping up the coverage of treasure format for now with a Mill versus Burn matchup. Now I am going to be playing Mill, and this is the list that we're using. I go into it a lot more in depth in my video about Mill that I made before, so you can check out the deck breakdown there, and my thoughts on it have pretty much stayed the same. But we are facing a Burn deck, and I wanted to do something a little bit special for this last video in treasure format, so I actually mixed up the format a little bit, and I actually recorded myself while playing the game to sort of give an insight into my thought process while dueling there. And also you get to see the side decking process, which is pretty nice as well. Now, I don't think that I played perfectly. Looking back at the video, I think I definitely could have done things a bit differently. And I think that in the moment, some of the things that I said about the matchup might be sort of not quite accurate, as, the results of the match in the end sort of proved what I was saying wrong. But I still think it was a very interesting sort of experiment to do. And if you all like that sort of format, please let me know and I'll try to make more of it. As is, I feel like I generally prefer the style of video that I've been making up to this point, but I do know that people like seeing, the action as it happens, so I will be open to making more of these videos in the future. But before we dive into the games, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do consider subscribing. We're wrapping up with treasure format, and we're going to be diving into the next format, which I'm tentatively calling jar format, as Empty Jar is an incredibly good deck in the next format. And it should be a lot of fun and a lot more sort of interesting than I initially gave it credit for. So definitely look forward to that. New videos on that will be coming on the way. And if you want to be alerted when those videos come out, do subscribe. We're trying to reach the goal of 500 subscribers in February, and we've just gotten over 420. So very cool milestone to reach. And I'm sure that if all of you subscribe, we can definitely do it. In addition, if you want to play any of these sort of obscure formats that I've been covering for yourself, we do have a Discord server. Link will be in the description down below. It's a great place to find games with awesome people, so definitely check it out if you're interested. And lastly, if you enjoy the video, as always, please leave a like down below. Now, I know the video is long enough already, as it was a very long match. So, without further ado, let's just dive into the games. Okay, we've got a game against Soul65. They should be on Burn, I believe, and we are on Mill here. So, hopefully we'll be able to get a good sort of idea of what my, thought process is while playing these games. So, it'll be a lot sort of less coherent, probably, than my standard videos. But it should be pretty fun to see. So, unfortunately, we will lose the rock, paper, scissors, so let's hope they don't have any hand rips here. Although they do know what we're on. Solemn is unfortunate, and we'll probably side that out games 2 and 3 if they're on Burn. So, but the sand isn't that bad. We can Maneater Bug, and then we can get it back with Spear Cretin. Obviously not the ideal use for Spear Cretin, but it's something. So this should be pretty good. Let's just hope we get something a little bit better. Okay, they're just going to set one, set another, pass back to us. That's perfectly fine. We draw Forceful, so we could Trunade into Forceful here, but I think it's probably better just to fire the Forceful now to see what they've got. Yeah, so let's just do it. Let's fire the Forceful. Oh, they're thinking, so maybe they have some counter trap here. I mean, honestly, if this bait's a counter trap, I think we're fine with that. Oh, okay, that's a good hand. So they've got Tomato, Trunade, Raigeki, and Cretin. We don't really care about the Trunade. The Raigeki's a bit annoying, though. The Spear Cretin is fine because it recycles our own monsters, too. So I think, actually, I'm just going to take the Raigeki. That's probably a bit too annoying. And they've got Tomato, they've got Trunade, and they've got Cretin. So that should be good. We just set the Maneater bug here. And then, honestly, I feel fine just setting the Waboku. If they've got, like, heavy, then that would be bad. So, I'm not sure Burn really plays heavy, but we can save the Solemn. We don't want to trigger it just yet. And so I feel fine doing this. We can Maneater whatever they've got. If it's Sangan, obviously that's a bit unfortunate, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm curious what it would be, though. It might be like, if they're on Burn, it might be like Giant Germ, which is a perfectly fine pop off of Maneater. But if it's a Recruiter, that'll be quite unfortunate. So let's just hope it isn't a Recruiter. It is just a Germ. Okay, that's very nice. They're just going to attack in, and we are perfectly fine with that. Just get that Germ out of here. Unfortunately, we don't have the best follow-up, as we don't necessarily want to Spear Cretin back the Germ, but hopefully we'll get something better later. We know that they've got a Tomato and a Trunade and a Cretin, so they might set the Cretin of their own just to get back the Germ, but if they do, we don't really care. It's likely Tomato, though. Ooh, Dark Hole is pretty not bad. That could be a very good play for later. Okay, so here's the thing. If that is a Cretin, they get back Germ, right? And we don't really care about that. We could just have the read that it's Cretin anyways. Set our... Yeah, I think what we want to do here is we just set the Cretin of our own, and then we pass back to them, because we want a Cretin in the grave to potentially set up the Cretin lock later. And this way, they just fill up their board for a potential Dark Hole. And if that is Mystic Tomato, we don't necessarily want to take a ton of damage here. And we can get back the Maneater bug to pop the Mystic Tomato. You can also pop the Cretin if they set it afterwards. So we're feeling fine about that, I think. And we can also just Dark Hole the board away next turn, too. So that is a reasonable option as well. We got a lot of good options here. What I really don't want to happen is... And the main reason why I set this Cretin is if they had a Cretin set, I didn't want them to flip up their Cretin, summon a Mystic Tomato, and get in for a ton of damage, because then if we Dark Hold, then that'd be really bad for us. Oh, they're just setting 2. That's interesting. Okay. I think we can just sit on this. Well, we might as well set the Judgment just in case. But, like, I think overall we're fine. So I'm good just setting that passing. We've got Trunade as well, so we can Trunade their board away. But I feel perfectly fine about this. I feel like that's probably a Cretin set, or else they might have flipped up the Tomato and gone in here. But I think we're doing fine. Yeah, they're just going to pass. This is perfectly fine by us. Oh, Painful Choice is like the best card we could have gotten here. Holy moly. This is going to be a very big think on our part. So we can Painful to the Grave Cyberjar to get it in rotation for our Spear Cretin. And we could potentially Painful... Oh, this is actually really insane, because we could Trunade, get a really good card destruction play here. Oh, this is... Do I fire it now? So if they attack into Cretin... Oh, boy. This is a real thing. I think I am just going to fire it now, because getting the Cyberjar in grave for our Cretin is very nice. Yeah, I'm just going to fire the Painful. And let's see if that goes through. They're going to think about it. If this baits a counter trap, I'm honestly fine with that. It's unfortunate because, like, you know, okay, it didn't bait a counter trap. Okay, so no matter what, we're sending a Cyberjar here. And I think we want to send a card destruction as well, because this is like our full graveyard setup. Because if we get a Magician of Faith later, we can get back the card destruction. We want to send Comfy as well, because they're not going to give us the Comfy. That's 3. We've got 2 left. The The swords could be good, but I think we just want to send some recruiters here, as they're not going to get much value otherwise. So we're just going to send a Sangan and a witch, I believe. And is that, how many is that? That's 5, yeah. Okay, that's the full 5. If we get a recruiter here, I'm fine committing it to board. Like, they could have desserts, but that's fine, honestly. If they give Cyber Jar, that's also fine, because we set Jar, flip up Cretan, and I think that is perfectly fine by us. There's a bunch of different options from this, and I think this is a very good... I think this is honestly one of the better sort of quintets of cards that we can send. We want to use up Comfy early. If we are using it, I doubt they're going to give us the Comfy, but if they do, then we want to use it now. Because the 1,000 life points later on in the game could be really bad against Burn here. So we'd want to use it now, and I think it could be a good time to Comfy. They're going to give us the Sangan. That is perfectly fine. With the Sangan, I think we could potentially just attack into their Cretan. I think that might be what we want to do. Maybe we should have sent a Magician of Faith to Grave as well, just to be able to get it back with our Cretan. But I'm just going to summon out Sangan, see if that's fine. It is, so I'm just going to attack into their set. If it's Tomato, you know, we get kind of outplayed here, but... Oh, it's just Germ. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I'll take the 5 from the Germ. I don't care. I mean, this is damage, right? But, like, this is perfectly fine. Are they going to... I'm going to ask if they're going to trigger effect. Just to make sure. I feel like they're probably not. I mean, they might have another in hand. Okay, they are. Yeah. That's why I wanted to make sure. It's optional. So I just wanted to check. I mean, they can crash into our Sangan with the Germ, which is annoying, but ultimately, I think that's fine. I mean, that's much better than it being a Cretan. Yeah, I'm fine with this board. I am perfectly fine with this board. If they hit in with, like, Tomato as well, we get back to Jar. That's a great pop. So, this is perfectly fine. Let's see what they do here. If they have, like, Raigeki, or, I mean, that would be kind of unfortunate. But even then, it's not really that unfortunate because we get this Sangan to search something. Oh, perfect. They're attacking into the Cretan. We're just going to get back a Jar. They can get back a Germ, which is perfectly fine. But yeah, we're fine with that. We're okay with Sangan dying because, I mean, we get a surge off of it, so that'd be very good. And it might be time to Trunade the board away next turn, just in case they've got like a Judgment. It's kind of iffy. I mean, if they commit another monster to board, I think we definitely fire Trunade. Okay, they're not. Waboku is fine. You know what? What's the worst that happens here if, like... So we know that's double Germ, right? What's the worst that happens here if they... I mean, if they Solemn... I mean, the only thing that can stop the Jar is a Solemn. So, like, I'm fine just flipping up the Jar. If they've got Solemn, they're paying half their life, which is fine. Yeah, let's just flip it up. We've got a Solemn of our own as well. So, okay, it's going through. So, this is very nice for us. Let's just banish 5 there. This is a very nice hand. We got Pot of Greed. And we will get a search off of our Sangan as well. So, They also reveal the 5, I believe, now. And then we commit to board. Oh, those are some... Oh, that's kind of nasty for us, honestly. I mean, the Momonga's fine. It's just the Chain Energy Duo Forceful Jammer. That's annoying. As for the Momonga, I think we actually are going to bring these guys out into attack. Because we kind of want to clear Momongas. Our win condition isn't through damage. It's just through, through hitting in, so... Or not through hitting in, through milling them. And if we hit into Momonga, then we're feeling very good about that. And we do get a search here. So let's just search real quick. I think we probably want the Magician of Faith here. So let's grab that to hand. And let's fire this Pot of Greed here. Well, Momonga should be set, but it's fine. We know what it is, so. Okay, that's fine on their part. We draw swords, which is okay, but this isn't like the best. I mean, I think we can just get attacking here. So let's just get attacking. I mean, if they've got Mirror Force, I'm very fine with that. Nope. It's just going to go through. Momonga will trigger. They'll gain some life points here, but they'll also get 2 cards deeper into their deck. So this is perfectly fine. And, I mean, we're just going to attack in again. Yep. They're going to gain another 1,000. I mean, maybe we shouldn't have done that, just to have more monsters on field. But I think this is fine. Let's just... I mean, we might as well activate swords. Especially if they've got Chain Energy on field. Like, Chain Energy is really annoying. We're going to set Magician, set Jammer, and we're also going to set Trunade here. Because they're probably going to activate Chain Energy. And so we want to, like, be able to bounce that back before doing our combo play. So I feel pretty good about this. We've got 2 forms of negation here. If they like Forceful Duo, I honestly don't really care about that as much. Because we've got, like, a perfect setup in hand already, right? So I'm fine with this. Like, I think we got to save it for, like, Raigeki or something, right? Trunade. We did know that they had that. We did know that they had that. You know what? I'm going to chain Waboku. Just in case. But, okay, that's fine. I mean, this is kind of rough because they can attack into the Magician. And then they can just sort of forceful what we get back. Oh, okay, good. They're just... okay, this is very good because this will enable us to get the card destruction next turn. So we are feeling very fine here. If they've got Raigeki, then, you know, that's obviously bad for us. But we're feeling pretty good otherwise. And they should be able to kill us through, like, damage. I can't think of any way to do that, especially since we chained Waboku. I mean, they're just getting a ton of hand knowledge here, but that is very fine. We've got 2 ways to do mass board clear, so we're feeling good. I don't know what the pick for them is, honestly. Maybe a Trunade, because they've got a counter trap for one of the Trunades. Because they do have Magic Jammer. So if they take one of the Trunades, then it's less of a big thing for them. I don't know. It's really tough to say because we could just save our card destruction play for the next turn. No, I don't know. I think I think you take Trunade here because just Trunading back the chain energy is really good for us, I think. But it is a tough choice. It is a tough choice. So we'll see what they do. Solemn. Okay, that's fine. That is a-okay by us. Because the Solemn isn't really useful next turn. And what we care about is next turn. Right? Unless they've got Raigeki or Dark Hole here. Which would be unfortunate. But yeah, I'm regretting the misplay of attacking into the Momonga. It probably won't matter in the end, as we probably couldn't get aggressive enough to kill them through damage anyways, but it would have made a potential Dark Hole from them a bit less appetizing. So, yeah, I'm kind of regretting that, but I think that we're still doing fine here. Okay, this feels very good on our part here. Let's see what they do. They're going to probably just set 4, right? And then activate Chain Energy. It'd be really bad if they activated 2 Chain Energy, as this will cost us 2,000 to clear. Oh, Toll is fine. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That is a-okay by us. We're going to activate a Trunade for sure. Oh, I pay 5. Yep. Let's see what they do here. They know we've got another Trunade in hand, so like, I don't actually know what they do here. They're going to think about it. I think they should activate Magic Jammer here because we're setting up for like a major card destruction play. But it's definitely something to think about. Mill is a tough matchup to play against, especially when you're also on a slower deck. Because Mill, like, if it has the time to assemble everything, then it can just go ham and just kill you out of nowhere. And so it is a very tough sort of choice here, I think, on their part. They are going to Magic Jammer indeed. That is the correct choice, in my opinion at least. And I think what we're actually going to do here is we're just going to fire the other one. Because if they thought about it this much, I feel like they probably... Yeah, if they thought about it this much, I think we're fine just going for it. They probably don't have another form of negation as well. Unless they've got Solemn, which is also fine because we can just flip up the Faith. Oh, we've got a lot of great Faith targets. Just Desserts, that is fine. It makes their hand a bit less juicy here. But they will get back everything. We can get back a card destruction, potentially. We got to decide, do we actually just attack into their Spear Cretin to get these Cyberjar? I don't think we do. But no matter what, we're going to... let's just activate Swords here. Just to see what they've got. Okay, it's just... Oh, okay, it's a Witch. That is actually very good for us. We can just activate Raigeki here. Clear their board. They will get a search here. So, this effectively gets them like 2 cards deeper, basically. So, we feel very good about that. So let's see what they search out here. They're going to search out a Tomato. That is fine, I think. We flip up the Magician here to grab back a card destruction. It's not the best card destruction, but it's not bad. We don't have another Magician in Grave, which is kind of annoying. But they don't really have any good options in Grave as well. I think we're just debating, like, do we set the Spear Cretin or not? And I think we do, because if they've got mass board removal, then we definitely want the Spear Cretin. Set So we're just going to, I mean, we're going to attack first because they don't have Karibo in hand probably. And I don't know if they're playing Karibo, but like, we're just going to go all in here. And this is where the potential Momonga play could have potentially come back to bite us. But we're just going to go for the card destruction here. They're going to discard a bunch and draw the same amount. So they discarded, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so they're going to go down to 14 cards in deck. I mean, I feel very good about this. We'll keep the Mirror Force in hand to act as Magic Jammer fodder. They're down to 13 cards in deck. We can maneuver it so that we potentially... I mean, the issue is they haven't gone through any, like, of their Power 5 limited spells, which is annoying. But we can still maneuver this so that we flip up Spear Cretin, just get in some more attacks, potentially. We can, like, trigger Spear Cretin ourselves by Dark Holing afterwards, although we don't necessarily want to do that. But I still feel pretty good. The issue is if they've got 2 Just Desserts, that's really bad for us. But, I mean, 2 Just Desserts gets us down to 1,000. That could lock us out maybe, but I mean, I think it's fine. Probably. Maybe we should Dark Hole next turn. Yeah, I think we'll just Dark Hole next turn. We can Dark Hole, get a Cyber Jar, because Cyber Jar should be good enough. So we just gotta fade some Just Desserts. If they do have 2, then that's really bad. But if they don't have 2 Just Desserts, then I feel like we're doing pretty good. They've gone through all their Germs, all their Momongas. They haven't gone through all their Spear Cretins or Recruiters. They likely have some of those. But I'm feeling good about this. I don't think Burn plays heavy in the main. It seems kind of counterintuitive. So, you know, I think the biggest thing we have to fear here is like a Trunade. But if they've got Trunade, we just chain Waboku to it. I think we're fine. They could have a Confiscation left in deck, which would make that a bit annoying because they could snipe the whole out of our hand. But I think we're doing fine here. It's just a little bit worrying that they're taking this long. Actually, maybe it's not that worrying. They're thinking about this for a while because it might mean that they don't have just the 2 card, not 2 card destruction, 2 Just Desserts line set up. Because if they had the 2 Just Desserts line, I think what they just do is they set the 2 Just Desserts and then they like, I mean, if they had 2 Chain Energy on top of that as well, that would be insanely bad for us. We can deal with 1 Chain Energy, but if they do have 2, then I think, okay, they're setting 1. Setting another. Setting another. Setting another. They've got Toll, that's fine. And 1 Chain Energy. Yep, that is fine. Hero Shadow Scout's a great draw as well. I think what we do... Oh, let me put a counter on Swords. We could just bide our time here, but I think I'm just going to go for the Spear Cretin play now. I think that makes sense to me. What have we got in grave? 2 Trunades in grave? Yeah. I'm going to go for the Cretin play. I mean, what can they get back? Nothing that good. Let's see if this is fine. If it's not fine, then we're in a little bit of trouble. And also, in addition, like, if they've got Magic Jammer for the Dark Hole, then we're also in trouble. But we're going to fire the Dark Hole now. See if that goes through. And that's fine. Okay, perfect. So they'll get a search here, but that is perfectly fine as we get the Cyberjar. They're going to get a Spear Cretin of their own, which is perfectly fine by us. We're going to get this Cyberjar, and we do get our searches here as well. So they'll be able to search first, and then we'll get to search. They're going to get a Witch. That is perfectly fine by us. We are actually going to grab a Magician of Faith, and we're also going to get a... we could get a Cretin. Yeah, let's... Cretin could be good because we set the Cretin, flip up Cyberjar, pop the Cretin. That could be a really good play. Heroes is just nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab the Cretin hand. Because also if they change of heart, which is very likely, then I feel fine. Like, we want to save the Jammer for, like, Dark Hole or Raigeki. So I am going to pay the 5 here to set a Cretin, and I think I'm honestly fine with that. We'll just pass back to them. They've got a Cretin of their own. If they double trigger Cretin, that is perfectly fine because we can just get back 2 monsters. So, I mean, this might be the like end of the game. I mean, if they've got Jammer, which they might because they've played 1 Jammer already, so they might have more. But the nice thing is we're out of like the burn danger zone, as if they, you know, want to do a major Just Desserts play now, it's only 1,000 damage per Just Desserts. Maybe I got greedy setting the Cretin. Maybe I should have set the Faith instead. I might have been too afraid of... That's fine, actually, yeah. Because we just get back the Cyberjar. And, like, we're okay losing the Cretin. It's not... It obviously isn't the best that we lose the Cretin. But, like, it's still not terrible. I mean, if they've got... Like, what we want to save the Jammer for is, like, Raigeki now. Doesn't look like they have any Magician of Faith in Grave. So, that's perfectly fine as well. If they get a Recruiter here, it just plays into our strategy a little bit more with the Cyberjar. So, I'm feeling good about this. And they are down in cards in deck. So, this should be very fine. What are they getting back? I mean, they don't really have any good targets to get back, honestly. Like, maybe like the Recruiters are actively bad here. Because if they get a Recruiter, then it adds another card from deck to hand. So, I mean, maybe that's fine. But, like, I don't know. I think that it's not the best. The good thing is we've also got a couple more turns on swords. So, I think we're okay in that regard as well. They're going to commit something else to board, it looks like. Okay, that's fine. And that's turn 2 on swords. We could potentially... Ooh, Magic Jammer is nice. Do we pay the 5 for Magic Jammer? What are we afraid of? Not much, honestly. I don't think we need to flip up the jar ourselves. We can just wait. Yeah, I mean, how do they kill us from 4,000? They don't, right? I'll just set the Magic Jammer to be safe. Pass back to them. We could potentially wind up in a situation where they just, you know, lose off the Cyberjar. They're just so low on cards that they just lose when it gets flipped up. So we're just going to keep the board as is. They've got Raigeki. We've got Magic Jammers, so we're feeling fine about that. You're going to think here. And I mean, it is a tough spot for them to be in. Like, I honestly don't know what they do here. Change of Heart doesn't really do anything unless you have a Cannon Soldier to pair with it. If they've got a Cannon Soldier, I mean, we fire the Magic Jammer on a potential Change of Heart, because if they do have Cannon Soldier, they can just tribute away the Cyberjar, and that would be very unfortunate. But I think in general we're fine here. The last turn on Swords, so that's something to consider. Okay, Swords expires. Oh, Solemn is... Ooh. Do we even commit Solemn to board? So Solemn is good against their Magic Jammers, but they could just kill us. So if we set Solemn, we're at 35, dropping us down to 1750. I don't think I want to risk the Solemn here. What if they used up? Yeah, I don't think... It's so tough. No, that's so tough. So the issue is if they fired another Trunade. But they'd have to have Trunade, Raigeki, Change of Heart, plus Cannon Soldier to... Yeah, I think I'm fine. If they've got Solemns of their own for our Magic Jammers, then we're in a bit of a tough spot. But I don't think we can afford to drop down that low against Burn here. So we're going to hold the Solemn in hand. I don't envy their position, because they know that if they attack into the Cyberjar, they're just getting blown out by that, right? So I don't honestly know what they do here. They could just bide their time until they draw into Raigeki or something, but like, I mean, Pot of Greed is kind of a dead draw at this point if they've got it. So they're going to check our graveyard, see what we've used up. We've used up a fair amount of good stuff, but I mean, I don't know exactly how they get out of this. Like, I don't know how they force us to get lower in deck than they are as well. That would be another way to sort of like abuse Cyberjar. But there's no real way to buff up your own deck size in this format. And we're definitely not going to try and lower our deck size. So yeah, the big fear is if they've got Solemns. But Solemn does not play well with Chain Energy. So like, I don't think they have Solemn main. I think they're using my burn list from the video, and I don't think that had Solemn in it, but I can't quite remember. They might side in Solemns for games 2 and 3, for sure. Because it's definitely either, like, if it's not in the main, it's in the side deck, for sure. But yeah, I'm feeling very good about this. I'm just going to keep things as they are and chill out. I don't think they can easily kill us here. If they summon Cannon Soldier, activate Reborn, tribute away their field, that's 1,500. And then if they've got 2 Just Desserts, that's 2,500, which drops us down to 15. Which is like, it's a threat having the Cannon Soldier on field, but then we can always just flip the Cyberjar the next turn to deal with that threat if it's still on field. So like, I think we're okay. Maybe I should have set the Magician of Faith while Swords was up, just to get back card destruction. I think I played this a bit too timidly. They're going to Pot of Greed. That's perfectly fine. Go for it. Drop down to 2 cards in deck after a Cyberjar activation. We've got 2 Magic Jammers here. If they Trunade, that will be their last Trunade, so we can afford to do that, I think. Yeah. I think we're doing really okay here. Because if we flip up the Cyberjar on our turn, we can just set Hero's Shadow Scout. This is a bit of a thinker here. The fact that they're doing this now means that they don't have the Trunade, right? So we're going to just go for that. We're going to Magic Jammer, discarding Solemn because it is a bit of a brick at this point. And we have the read that they've got a cannon soldier. So yeah, we feel fine. We've got Waboku, we've got Jammer. If they've got Raigeki, we just jammer that. I mean, I think we're doing good. What other power cards? They could have Reborn. Reborn doesn't do anything here. If they've got Tribute to the Doom in main deck, then this loses to that. But again, if I think this is my burn list, and yeah, that's fine. So it looks like they're just going to attack into the jar themselves, which is perfectly fine because this could get them down to 1 card in deck. So oh yeah, they did have to pay 5 there. Oh, that's superb. Okay, that is fine. I mean, Heroes just does it, right? We've got oh, it's kind of tricky because they did get True Nade here. So they True Nade Raigeki this turn for sure. We'll just bring out the Heroes and Maneater real quick. Set. And they get Cretan, Confi. I mean, they could fire Confi here, but what does it really do? Like if they do True Nade Raigeki here, then we swords and we win that way, I think. Like yeah, I feel very fine about this course of events. And they're setting the Cretan, which means if that Cretan ever does get sent to the graveyard, then we get back the jar. We shouldn't get back the jar. We get back Shadow Scout, and then we win that way. So we're feeling very fine here. All right, next turn we're just going to flip up the Heroes and win. So, oh wait, can we? Can we flip up Heroes and win? Does this work that way? We'll look it up on our turn, for sure. Unless they ask now, in which case we'll look it up here. They are indeed going to True Nade. I mean, we don't need to activate Jammer in response, but it might be good. If we activate Jammer in response, that's a wasted magic Jammer, right? So, yeah, let's just go, yeah. They can't do any more battle damage to us, so we're fine. They're going to Raigeki the board here because, I mean, they have to or else Heroes potentially kills them. So, yeah, I don't know how they can actually kill us here. I mean, 2 desserts gets us... yeah, I think we're fine. Yep, there's the Geki. Double chain energy? Maybe? No, that wouldn't even do it. Coffee? That's fine. Yeah, they can snipe something out of our hand, but... oh, if they snipe out the Revealing Light, it could be bad. I think we're just kind of chilling here, though. I honestly can't think of what can do it here. If we draw card destruction, we just win. So there's that too. We don't quite win. We have to set our hand first, but then we win. They will have jammers though, so not really much point to doing that. let's see what they do here. They're going to... I mean, I honestly don't know what I'd take if I were them. I mean, you probably take... I mean, they don't have any removal left, right? So you probably take... If they don't take swords, then we stall them out through swords. If they don't take heroes, then we kill them through heroes. So I don't know what I'd take from their position. I think we just have this game on lock. But that all does depend on whether heroes requires your opponent to have 3 cards in deck. I think at this point in the game's history, it probably doesn't, even if in the modern day it does. Because you can deck yourself out through Pot of Greed in these old formats. So because you can do that, I think, yeah, I don't, it's tough. I think that it will, yeah. I mean, they're probably thinking that as well. They're like, if heroes kills me here, then, I mean, we take the heroes. I mean, everything kills them here, so I don't know. I mean, if we activate swords, they activate jammer, right? So you probably take heroes either way. But it's a tough call. So let's see what they say. Okay, they're gonna pick the Solemn, which is, in my opinion, not the correct choice because we don't really have the time to use that anyways. But I'm gonna shuffle that in. We might draw it again. Oh, I was thinking it was yeah, I was thinking it was Forceful. So, but I think we're fine. So they said a bunch. If they've got Cannon and they've got Reborn, and what happens? They're just gonna set another Chain Energy pass to us. I'm just gonna ask them about heroes. I'm going to do some quick research. Okay, we seem to have come to a conclusion here on heroes. So now I need to do a major think here because I need to think about what they might have. So if they've got Magician of Faith set and they can get back Raigeki, that obviously is very bad for us. So either way, no matter what, actually, no matter what, we might just activate. No, either way, we set heroes, we set jammer, that's 15. Brings us down to 2,500. If they have 2 Just Desserts, that brings us down to 1,500. If they have Cannon Soldier, that is just game. So we can't do that because they very likely do have Cannon Soldier and 2 Just Desserts. So I think what we actually have to do is set heroes. So we're setting heroes for sure. And then if you, I think we just pass. We could activate swords, but I haven't seen any Magician of Faith out of them. If they do have Magician of Faith, then they've got Magician of Faith. We just lose here either way, right? So I'm actually just going to... Do I set the Waboku? How many Wabokus do I have left? I have another Waboku left. Nah, I just... so if they do have faith, they get back... We should have maybe activated swords beforehand just to see. But they probably have Magic Jammer. So if they've got faith, they flip it up, right, Geki the board. We've got Waboku set that protect us from that for a turn. But I think we still lose out as a whole because we take 1,000. Yeah, and they've got Reborn Cannon Soldier. Yeah, I think I just have to pass on this because I don't think there's anything they can do to play around this. Let's discard Mirror Force because it doesn't matter at this point. Yep, that's fine. Can't do anything about it. Oh, I see. They tribute off. Oh, I gotcha. They bring out Cannon Soldier, and will this be the end of the game? I believe it will be. Because they... Yep. Okay, wait. So this will be 5. And I think I do actually have to get one back, which is very unfortunate. But, I mean... So this will be 15 here. Okay, they're getting back Tomato. They trade off the Spear Cretin. Yeah, I think we're still good because... I mean, I don't know. Let's get... I mean, Maneater Bug? Sure. I don't know what they get back here that wins them the game. Oh, yeah, I need to take another 5. Yeah. So, oh, if they've got Reborn, that wins them the game. But they need to have Reborn. So the last card in deck is Reborn. And we're fine. If they have Reborn, which is the much more likely option, then we lose. Wow, what an insane game. Oh, let's go. Oh, oh yeah, they had the Justers. I forgot about that. Yep. Yeah, nothing we could really do there. I mean, that was a very, very close one. That was down to the last turn. Maybe if we had set the Magician of Faith and gone for a more aggressive card destruction play earlier with the jar when we had the swords up, maybe that could have potentially done it for us. But I think as is, we played that fine. Yeah, I think we played that fine. Anything that we want to... I feel like we're fine. Like, what do we care about here? The trap holes only really stop the tomatoes and cannon soldiers. Like, I think that on a whole, like, this deck probably does win in a long, drawn-out fight. Yeah, I think we're fine. Like, maybe the Masks of Darkness to get back some Magic Jammers or Bokus, but, like, I mean, if they bring in Solemns of their own, that's the tricky thing. Yeah, we should probably side out the Solemns for some masks. That makes sense to me. The annoying thing is if they've got Solemns of their own. I think that's still fine. We're going to go first here. Let's see how we do. This is a great opening hand. Wow, this is one of the best opening hands we could get, honestly. We're just going to set Cyberjar, set Woboku, set Dark Hole. The reason for this is if they've got heavy, we get punished, but we don't get super punished because we do have the Woboku. And, like, this just plays around chain energy later on, so. Let's see what they do here. They're going to bring out a Sangan. That's fine by us. They're going to attack in here. It will get popped, so they will get a search here. But honestly, I think this is pretty great. Card Destruction is a great card to hit off that. And we hit a... Oh, wow. We've got Cretins for the jar. That is extremely nice to see. They do get Chain Energy, and they get some powerful spells as well. They've also got Magic Jammer there. But... honestly, I think this is fine. We've got 2 Cretins and the Bug. So we're just going to sort of set these in a way that they don't know about. Yep, they get the search as well. That's fine. This cuts down their searches by 1, so we feel very good about that. And we don't really... I mean, if they attack into Spear Cretin Cyberjar, that's annoying because we lose out on one of our other Spear Cretins. But we've still got a huge sort of thing here, so... I mean, we could always Woboku to prevent them from hitting over the Cretin. But I honestly am not too afraid of that. Like, I'll let them Cyberjar the board again, add 5 more cards to hand. Like, I think that's fine. They're adding a Witch, that's fine. Oh, they're not even attacking. That is A-okay by me. Sure. They'll hit the card destruction out of hand, probably. Like, that's fine. It's kind of annoying because we would have liked to have set up a big card destruction play here, but, I mean, it's what you got to do. Yep. I mean, that is the correct choice. Curious if they tribute off the Cannon Soldier here. That'll be interesting to see. They know we've got the Manure Bug to potentially pop it. So, curious to see what they do here. Our board is ripe for a very good Just Desserts, which is very unfortunate, but yep, that's fine. They're going to activate a bunch of chain energy here, because that would be very annoying. Yep, that's fine. Looks like they might be. Well, that makes this a lot worse for us, but not, you know, terrible. Because we can sort of... Ooh, Pot of Greed would be nice to activate, but I don't think we want to do it yet. So, what we can do here is we could just flip up the Bug, target Cannon Soldier, right? And then flip up a Cretin as well. No, they can just get back. Yeah, they can just get it back with the Cannon Soldier. So, I'm honestly... fine just leaving things as they are. Yeah, I'm fine leaving things as they are. Yeah. Pass back to them. they still have to find a way to deal with this board. We've got the Waboku, and they've got to pay 1,000 if they want to activate something from their hand, so feeling fine. We're just playing the long game here. If we draw a degenerate at some point, that'll be very nice. So, something to look forward to. Thing we're really afraid of here, I think, is Raigeki. Raigeki would be really annoying because we don't have a magic jammer for it. So that'd be really rough. I think overall we're fine. Yeah, they're going to pass to us, and we're going to pass back to them. We feel no reason to sort of make any changes on this board. Trunade? Sure. Yeah, we're going to chain Waboku to it. Yeah, that's fine by them. Okay, cool. That is very nice for us. Comfy? Sure. They might take the Dark Hole here, honestly. Because Pot doesn't really do anything for us, right? Like, Pot just is pay 1,000 to draw 2 cards that you'll have to pay another 1,000 for. So, now it's not the best. What we're really waiting for is a Trunade. Oh, they're taking Potigrade. That's fine. That doesn't really play well with Chain Energy anyways, so we much prefer the Dark Hole here. And if they Raigeki this board, we'll just Dark Hole their board. So, like, I think it's fine. Yeah, setting a monster. I think they're going to cancel. They could Cannon Soldier, tribute it off. Just get some damage in here. But, yeah, I think they're just probably going to set up their back row again with the Chain Energies, which is very annoying for us. I think we'll have to probably pay 1,000 here for the Waboku. But, yeah, you know, I said earlier that Mill, I think, is better in, like, sort of the long, grindy games. But if the burn player is able to set up, like, Chain Energies with some counter traps. Oh, okay. Oh, no, they're ordering it correctly. Yeah, that's fine. They're just activating 1. Okay. That is interesting. We know they have another in hand. I mean, we're just going to pay 5, set a Waboku, and pass back to them. We're not going to commit more to board. If we flip up Man-Eater Bug trying to pop one of our own monsters to play around, like, Just Desserts, then, you know, I mean, what they might be doing is they might be setting up a big Just Desserts play, flipping up a Spear Queen of their own, tributing off with a Cannon Soldier, and getting monsters back from grave. But that's fine, because then we can just flip up Cyberjar on the next turn. Maybe we should have Dark Hold here, but I think it's fine. I mean, they've got Magic Jammers, so I'm pretty sure they do. This may be a reason to write down what we see off their things, but I'm pretty sure the third card we saw from the Cyberjar was Magic Jammer. Yeah, Sanyan's fine. It's just a Cretan, so let's get back a Cyberjar. The annoying thing is if they've got Raigeki here. That would be very annoying. But we do have Dark Hole for that. And we do have Cretan to potentially set up the Cretan loop, although that's really bad when they've got Cannon Soldier in rotation. So we probably shouldn't use Cretan to set up the Cretan loop. But we can get Cyberjar here, so. Or not a Cyberjar. Yeah, we can get a Cyberjar back with Cretan. Let's see what they do now. They're going to start tributing, so let's see what they're tributing off. They're tributing off Sangan. That's fine. Yep, they trigger the Sangan here. That is honestly very fine by us because we just get more cards out of their deck. They're grabbing a Spear Cretan of their own. I don't believe they've normal summoned, yeah. But it won't really matter here because next turn we're just going to flip Spear Cretan, flip Cyberjar, pop everything. So won't really make much of a difference. Most likely. Yep. I mean, they know the Cyberjar play is coming, so this makes sense for them. Yeah, just discard, tribute off the whole field. I mean, there's no reason not to at this point because we're going to Cyberjar. We could potentially just not Cyberjar, but I mean, we know that they've got monsters in hand to trigger the Cyberjar anyways, so it's just better for us to flip Cretan, flip Cyberjar, and get them deeper into their deck. They're searching for something. They're searching for a Spear Cretan. That's fine. Now, will they tribute off the Cannon Soldier? It looks like they are indeed going to tribute off the Cannon Soldier. That is perfectly fine. Could just, I mean, if they've got Dark, they might be setting up Dark Hole here. If they are doing a Dark Hole play here, I think that's fine. Because we do have Cretan. It'd be unfortunate, obviously, but like, I think it'd be fine. Either way, like, our position's a little bit unfortunate because we know they've got another Chain Energy somewhere. So it's a little bit rough, but I think that this is all going to be fine. We also know that they probably have a Just Desert somewhere, so. Let's see what they do. They're just going to pass to us. That is pretty... Oh, that's the best draw we could have gotten. Holy moly. I mean, of course, the Magic Hammer makes it a bit awkward, but I'm going to flip up Spear Cretan. That seems to be fine. We're going to flip up Cyberjar. Just try and pop everything. Okay. Everything must go. And then we do the whole... banish 5 from the top thing here. There's the Raigeki. And they just draw a Mamanga, so that's fine. Let's shuffle these up because we're not attacking into that Mamanga, I don't think. So we set a Witch, we set a Faith. They get Solemn, Jammer, Deserts, Raigeki. We've got a Jammer of our own for that Raigeki, but we know they're playing Solemns, so it's a bit rough here. We also do get the Spear Cretan activation, getting back a Cyberjar. Yeah. Feeling good about that. Okay, let's try to bait something out, I think. Try to bait out some removal. Or some counter, I mean. Ah, it didn't bait it out. That's fine, though. So, I mean, we send back Raigeki, I think. We send back Raigeki and we wait for ourselves to draw Trunade. Because we can potentially do, well, we can potentially do a big card destruction turn with the Faith. So, let's send back Raigeki. Let's bide our time a little bit. If they've got triple desserts, then we lose. But for that reason, actually, we might want to... Yeah, if they've got, like, Dark Hole, I'm not afraid of that. I'm just afraid of the triple desserts. What are the odds they've got triple desserts, though? They've got 1 desserts in hand. They didn't fire desserts earlier. I mean... I think we're just gonna go to end phase and just start discarding some stuff. So Mirror Force is okay, but not the best. Let's discard a... Yeah, let's discard some recruiters. Pass back to them. We don't want to, you know, play into chain energy. And I think we should be fine here overall if we activate card destruction first thing next turn. And then we, yeah, I think we should be fine. Dark Hole, of course, is unfortunate, but... It makes the, if they do have Dark Hole, then it makes the Just Desserts a lot less scary. So I think I'm fine with that. If we had a Trunade, this would be a lot nicer. Trunade would really tie a lot of things together, but we have not been able to draw a Trunade yet, so it makes it a little bit harder. Maybe we should have just gone... Yeah, maybe we should have just tried to fire the card destruction last turn. It's a bit iffy. We wouldn't have been able to Faith it back that turn. I don't know. It's tough. Interesting. This makes me a bit worried that they might have like a Dark Hole or they just drew the Raigeki off the top. That would be really bad. But we do have a Recruiter here, so if they do have Raigeki, it's like... but it's obviously not good though. They've used up 2 Trunades, which are nice. Okay, the question is, do we play... Oh, let's go. That is, I mean, That's exactly what we want here. If they've got triple desserts, they've got triple desserts, and they win the game. So it is what it is, but I mean, if they don't, then I think that we win this turn. Yep, they've got Jammer there. So let's see what they discard. I'm going to discard Tomato. If we flip up the Faith, I think this is good. Flip up Faith. Try and target Trunade. We will get Trunade to hand. Pay another 500. We know they don't have triple Just Desserts, so this is fine. Ooh, they're thinking about this. Come on, just let it back to hand. You know, what's the worst thing? What's the worst that could happen if you just let everything go back to hand, you know? What's the worst thing that could happen? I mean, you'd lose. That would be the worst thing that would happen. And that will indeed happen. But you should just let this go through. Oh. Spoil sport. But it might all be fine. Let's see what they discard here. I'm going to discard my manga. We're going to flip up the jar here. They might have set a solemn for this, but if they did, that's okay. We could just set Cretan potentially. I mean, it's not the best, but the good thing is that we baited removal here. Or we baited counter traps, that is. Okay, that's one Just Desserts. Okay, that just one Just Desserts. That is very nice for us. Ooh, that was another Recruiter. Okay, this is going to be a very... Oh, let's go. Double card destruction. Oh, this is just so good. So 2 hero and a faith. So 1, 2, 3. Two hero and a faith. And now we add back these. The annoying thing is that we can't, yeah, I mean, so we've got to pay 5. So wait, how many do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we pay 5, set card D. And then we've got to activate the other card. Well, they don't have desserts. So, yeah, we just have to activate the other card D. And, yeah. So we pay 5. If they negate this card D, then we're fine. Because we can feel free to set more. Yeah, so if they negate this card D, then we play out our hand a bit. Yep, that's fine. They don't have any more negations. There's a bit of a thinker here, but we do just play to our hand here. So it's a bit tricky if they... We've got to set the Waboku here and hope that we snipe the Raigeki out of their hand. Yeah, I think that's just what we got to do. So we're going to pay 5, set Waboku, activate card D. So there's 5 for us, and quite a bit more for them. Okay, so if they have... there's only 1 Just Desserts engraved, so that means that they've got another. So we just lose the game. Damn it. Well, the Just Desserts may be the last cards in deck, so I mean, they've used up Reborn, they've used up a Soldier. What other 500 activations do they have? So yeah, it's just if they've got desserts. If they've got desserts, then we lose. Oh. Ultimately, I don't think it matters. It's kind of an irreparable game state, but like, I think we lose. So yeah, I think this game is over. Maybe we could have played this turn, like maybe we should have fired the Dark Hole beforehand. I mean, they've got Raigeki too, so like they've got everything. Yeah, it's a bit, maybe we should have Painfuls as well. There's a lot of hindsight sort of things that we can see now, but yeah, we just never drew a True Nade, which was rough. So that enabled them to get enough negation to make it fine. But I think the game is over. So I hope you all enjoyed that sort of live sort of duel between Burn and Mill. I do think that it is like a generally close matchup, but each deck can do well if they're able to set up what they've got going, and the Burn deck was able to set that up more easily than the Mill deck. So let me know down in the comments below if you want to see more games like this in the future. But until next time, I've been Ben from YGO from Zero, and I'm signing off.